Using a solid call to action. This is really the ultimate conversion tool, meaning it's the point where we're leading our prospects into taking the action that we really want them to take. Okay, so everything points towards this on our landing page. This is that moment where they're going to commit, they're going to give us their email address, we're going to give them the product we promised. Okay, so everything hinges at this point. Now, what we've already covered, pretty much every element of a successful landing page. Okay, we've gone through them step by step, from headlines to bullets, social proof, testimonials, opt-in forms, all the pieces of the puzzle. All of those, no matter how great they are, mean nothing without a great call to action. So what we're going to cover in this lesson is some of the best practices for using calls to action, just how important they are, some of the phrases we can use, some of the specific words we can use, and placement options within our landing page itself to maximize those conversions, to get more people to commit. You know, if they get to this point in the page, they're already interested, so we just need to give them that little nudge. Now, a strong call to action, well, we hear the phrase all the time, a call to action. Now, my personal preference is it's a demand for action. Okay, without being hypey, this is the point of any sales page, lead generation page, where we're going to tell people to do exactly what we think they should do. Okay, we need to be very specific, and we need to be somewhat urgent about it, okay, by restating a massive benefit and often suggesting a time, as in do it now, do it now, do it now. Mindset comes into play a little bit. I don't harp on mindset very often, but in this case, it's very important to believe that what you're offering to people is really valuable to them. Okay, you wouldn't have gone to all the trouble to research your niche, to come up with this lead magnet, to make it as good as you could if you didn't think it was worth solid value for people. And you're offering it for free in the case of a lead page. So we really want to believe in that, and we want to believe it to the point where we think prospects would be silly for actually not taking us up on this offer. You know, we're giving them something great. All they have to do is sign up. So your job is to tell people in your call or demand for action exactly what they need to do. Okay, everything else from the headlines to the bullets and the bullets, that's a new word, and benefits have conveyed the message to this point. Okay, but we have to tell them at this point exactly what they need to do. Now, how? Well, we're going to position a compelling call to action right above the opt-in form, right above the form where we ask for their email address or whatever else, other information we require. And we're going to remind prospects here of the key benefit they're going to receive and why they should take action now. So words and phrases that we can incorporate. Urgency is going to be everything here. Things like act now, grab your free report here, get yours by clicking below. Okay, if we want to do a lead into that, let's talk about a specific benefit. Going back to our dog training example, we could do something like teach Fido to be the best trained dog on the block by Tuesday. You know, very specific time frame, very specific benefit to people that are going to be interested in having a well-trained dog. Get your free report now. Okay, scarcity also helps. Not as critical with landing pages, especially when we're talking about digital information, but it doesn't hurt to throw in that there's only limited copies available or it's a limited time offer. This tends to help people take a little bit of action. Using the word now is also really, really important, just to sort of express that urgency. Now, the secondary call to action, I call it, is really the submit button text. And this is where a lot of people ignore it. They'll download a bunch of buttons from their standard opt-in forms, and they'll just keep the button text the way it is. And I kind of disagree with that. That's a secondary call to action. People at this point have entered the information, but they have to hit that button. So we have to make that button look good as well. Make it a little catchy, okay? Yes. Send my free report now with exclamation marks. Let me in. Download now is also very popular. Instant access inside, things like this. This is where it's okay to be a little bit hypey, okay? Earlier on, we talked about toning down the hype in the benefits and everything else that we discuss. Yes, but with the call to action, it's okay to push it up a little bit, okay? It's okay to really let people know, yeah, you really need to get this, okay? So you do it with your main call to action and with the text on the button itself. So that's kind of double duty for your calls to action. Okay, it's not just the lead in above the form, but it's also the text on the button itself. Okay, so use both of these elements to maximize your conversions. Now you'll see a lot of these examples on squeeze pages. Now I suggest exploring lead pages in your niche, but for this element, I really suggest you go more into the internet marketing niche. You're going to see squeeze pages there that really hype it up when it comes to that call to action and that demand for action, including the text on the button. Okay, so you're going to see a lot of good examples there. Look at some of the calls to action that you see in place and consider the ones that make you want to pull the trigger, make you want to actually enter your information and hit that button. Incorporate some of this into a swipe file as well. Okay, these are very important power words as well. They're really strong action words, and that's really the goal of this whole process. Everything we've worked for points to this. This is where people decide whether or not to join our list, so we really want to be careful with the way we phrase it and how we position them. Okay, so remember, the call or demand to action are a really important part of your landing page.